Welcome back to my channel where we talk movies, music, and more. And today we are starting our road to Rise of Skywalker, where we review every single Star Wars movie leading up to the newest Star Wars film, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, which I'm very excited for. So let's get straight into the video. With all that being said, I did forget to mention that I'm starting with the original trilogy. As you could see, I just feel like I'm not going to start with the prequels. I'm doing it with the release dates, the actual classics, and then move on to the next trilogy and cap off all three trilogies. I will be doing Solo, A Star Wars Story, all the spin-offs, Rogue One. I'll be covering all of it. I mentioned this in one of my update videos a while back. So today we are going to be talking about today we're going to be talking about the first Star Wars film, Star Wars A New Hope. Now, Star Wars has always been a huge part of my life. I've always loved it. And the original trilogy is my favorite. You're going to see which one's my favorite as we go along and review every single one of these films. And at the end, we will be ranking all the Star Wars films. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But I love the original trilogy. It is my favorite out of the trilogies. So I do love A New Hope. Now, Star Wars A New Hope, it kind of kicks off the series with some fresh entertainment. It's sci-fi, and though some sci-fi some people might not love and others will love, sometimes it's specific to a certain group of people. I feel like Star Wars really kind of blended genres. So you had this fun adventure for the whole family, and you had, in intergalactic space battles, you had these fun characters to go along with, this comedy. You had your funny little characters like Chewbacca. You had your fuzzy characters. You had all those cute guys in space, and you had your villains. You had your good guys. All of it. It was just, and you blended it all into this genre, and I feel like that's why so many people who admire different genres of films all really love Star Wars. And I feel like the first film, A New Hope, really starts it off very well. Now, I have like two minor complaints with it. My first one is the acting isn't very good in this, but I feel like it doesn't need to, the acting doesn't need to be phenomenal, but I mean, Mark Hamill, he wasn't very good as Luke Skywalker. He brought out the fun character in Luke Skywalker, but he wasn't something that you could like give in best actor or anything. But it doesn't have to, because it is Star Wars. It's a fun space battle, but the acting isn't very good. Carrie Fisher, rest in peace, but she wasn't very good in this. And they all kind of progressed in acting skills throughout the series as they learned their character more, but the acting wasn't phenomenal in this. And also, just things about it, like, and this is a very minor complaint because it's a sign of the times. It's a little bit dated, but you can't do anything about that considering it was made when those certain trends were popular back then. But it's a tad bit dated, but I really don't have a problem with that considering it's Star Wars and it appeals with so many decades worth of children and adults. So those are my two tiny little complaints with it. The rest I just love about this film. Now, one thing that I love that they are able to capture is the sense of fun and the sense of fun that you're out in this galaxy and there's this big quest, and it just, there's a lot of fun to that. There's a lot of excitement. It's a big adventure, and I think they captured that very well. It didn't really drag. It felt I don't know completely how to describe this, but it felt like it was a story that you wouldn't really like doze off or not care about a little bit, because all of it was exciting. It all had a purpose there. Now, I do love a good villain, and Darth Vader is one of the greatest villains in cinematic history. And I think one of the greatest things that they did about it is, now I do love villains that have, you can see that they do have problems. They're not completely evil, but sometimes, and especially in the Star Wars franchise, there should be good and there should be bad. And Kylo Ren that's one of my biggest complaints with the Force Awakens trilogy, the Rey trilogy, whatever you want to call it, is that Kylo Ren, I feel like he should be bad, and I know they're never going to do that. I know Rise of Skywalker isn't going to do that, but he should be bad. He should be evil, but they didn't really depict him as that, and so But Darth Vader is a guy you don't want to root for. He's a bad guy. And he is the definition of evil. And Luke and his guys and Han and Chewie, they're the good. It's good versus bad. It's there. You know what it is. You don't have to be caught up in this emotional story. You know what's bad. You know what's good, and you know who you want to win. So that's always been a big plus with me about this film. Now there is a lot more I could talk about this, but the biggest praise that I do have for Star Wars: A New Hope is the cast, not really the cast, but the characters. These are characters that you can learn to love just like that. After you witness who Han Solo is, who Leia is, who Luke is, who C-3PO is, all of these characters. Once you've witnessed them, you're hooked to them. You like them. You love them. These are characters that you can easily invest in and really enjoy spending time with. And that is one of the best parts. If there were characters in this film that we really did not like whatsoever and we didn't care about, the series just wouldn't go on as long. If no one really cared about Luke, if no one cared about Leia, this series wouldn't be as far as it is today, because these are characters that, they're characters that you care for, you're invested in, you want to spend more time with, and you enjoy their screen presence. And so that's always been a huge plus for me, is the screen presence of these characters, and the way you can easily attach to them and see them as some of the best characters in cinematic history. And they're these characters that are a lot of fun to be with. You see them as in their emotional journeys throughout their saga, especially with Luke. We see him as this one point, he's this poor kid living with his uncle, and we see him rise to the top and become a Jedi, and that is one of the best character arcs that I've seen in cinema. I mean, really, just some characters that you truly do love. And so, I've always been a big fan of the way they build up their characters, and you can tell. I mean, even if someone hasn't ever seen a Star Wars movie, which is pretty hard to do, but they usually know at least one name. At least they know Luke Skywalker. At least they know Princess Leia, Han Solo. They usually know one at least, and if not, then they've been living under a rock, because these characters have defined a franchise, and that is my biggest plus I can give this film. So with all of that said, I could talk about this even more, but I'm going to have to stop for today because we have a lot of Star Wars stuff to be doing, so I have to write down notes. I'm going to be doing my Season 1 review for Riverdale. I have a lot of stuff coming out soon, so I do want to wrap this up. And my grade that I'm going to give this is, I'm going to give Star Wars A New Hope an A. So yeah, an A it's a phenomenal movie. It does have like one big problem for me. Yeah, I don't even know if it's big. It's not big at all, really, but it's a little problem that I wouldn't give it an A plus because of that. But the next one, who knows? Empire Strikes Back is a phenomenal movie, so maybe we'll get an A plus because I do love that movie. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see my whole entire series of Star Wars reviews, and obviously I will be making a playlist for that. So thank you so much. And also, I did make a short film with my sister called Another One Bites the Dust. It's about a killer clown. It was a lot of fun to make. We will be having some more stuff come out soon, more short films like that. But it was a lot of fun to make, so please check that out. And I should have another episode of my podcast coming out soon. Now I'm going to stop rambling. Bye now.